Hi, everybody. We're gonna give a minute or so for people to start rolling in here. I hope you guys are having a great Friday, because I am. I'm definitely enjoying today. There's a lot of rain outside. I can't complain. Oh, hey, Nixie. Good to see you. Hey, Bert. But yeah, we're just gonna give it a minute or so that people get the notification and just come on in here before we get things rolling today. There will be some pretty fun stuff. I didn't get all of it done that I wanted to, but I'm excited to show you guys what I've been cooking up with for the last week or so, 2 weeks. But it is something that we are going to take step by step and show you guys the entire process of using Midjourney video in a new way. So let's see. I spent most of my day fixing my keyboard after I spilled a drink on it yesterday during this gaming stream. Yeah, I remember that happened to you. That sucks. I'm sorry. It's one of the reasons that I have a very cheap Amazon keyboard, because I really just don't want to like care about like things getting broken and whatnot. So I have a very. It's also true. Like I had very loud keys. I had very mechanical keyboard, very loud during streams. So just getting this cheap little Amazon thing is good. But oh, hey Snoopy.
The reason why I have a silicone reserve keyboard. It's indestructible. It's super uh, weird to type on, but it's always there, just in case.
But let's see here. What's your opinion on Cherry Browns? Yeah, I hate them. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell you firsthand experience. I just know that my keyboard was too damn loud. Um, all right. We've given some time here. Thank you guys so much for joining the stream here today. My name is Victor Gnarly. I am a former visual effects artist with Adult Swim. I worked on shows like Robot Chicken, Moral Oral, and a handful of others. But I'm so excited to be making stuff with you guys today. If this is the first time you've joined our streams, you can find VC Text and VC Chat VC Create just above the stage. So if I scroll on down the list here on Discord, you'll see here's the stage that we're all talking right now. We have VC Create and VC Text. VC Create is where we're going to be prompting things together and making stuff. So that's where we'll be collaborating and showing off the stuff that we'll be generating. But we also have VC Text, and that's where this chat is on the left side here. So everything that we do gets uploaded to YouTube eventually. I've got a whole bunch of streams actually on queue to upload, so expect that on the YouTube channel. And I'm also joined here with Rhapsody.
Hello.
And she's awesome, and
What
she'll
is capacitor writing?
what
Oh,
you need a
no,
witch hat.
no.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They're all
Yeah,
that all three of us will
I'm
be.
here for. I'm here for all things community. I'm an IT and multimedia consultant for my Apple Creative, and I just help out wherever possible.
Yeah, she's awesome, and we're also joined here with Kinky and Ancient Chaos from Midjourney. Thank you both for making this happen.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hello.
Alrighty, so the I think at this point, what I'm gonna do, at least to get the stream started up here, inside of VC Create, you'll see that I have shared a prompt that it gives you a hint of what we're gonna be doing today. But I have a full tutorial that I have built for you guys that's going to demo some pretty cool stuff that we can do with Midjourney Video now. But it takes a little bit of setup here to kind of explain what I want to accomplish today with you guys. But for now, we're going to show off the Gnarly Studios thing, because we're going to be pulling off a lot of characters for this to show off just the versatility of this method. So on the Gnarly Studios server, which gets linked inside of VC Text throughout the stream, you're going to find something called the Character Portal, where you can either take one of our characters that has been submitted by our community, or you can submit your own character and keep track of them. So anyone else that uses your character, they'll just kind of pop up here, and it's a really great way to see your characters exploring Midjourney outside of just your own prompts and stuff. So we collaborate and make a lot of cool things with these characters. So I hope you guys, hop on in here and start submitting them. I'm going to link you guys directly to the character portal as well. So let me submit that here inside of VC Text. Okay, cool. So at this point, what I want to do is I'm going to point you guys towards something that we call the knowledge base, which is right underneath the character portal. You'll find it right here. And inside the knowledge base, you're going to find something, a post called Camera Coverage with Midjourney Video. And this is a tutorial that I built for today's stream, and it's going to teach you guys how to create this. This is a it's 180 degree spin. It's a little over 180 degrees actually, but the idea here is that we are orbiting around a scene that has a completed background in order to give us coverage from multiple angles. This is just the upward angle coverage, so we would need to do one that's down low as well in order to get just about everything that we need. But I wanted to give you guys an idea of the sort of stuff that we're going to be producing with this. The full tutorial is available here, so I'm going to link that also into VC Text for you guys. Okay, there you go. It's there. So we're not gonna like go line by line through this, but I wanted to show you guys at least the basics of what this is going to cover. It is starting off with a character OREF that we then translate into a prompt using a description of those characters. This basically gives us a baseline that we can then put them into any medium scene or just a basic shot description. And then we are going to ask these characters to turn around, and that gives us the back view of the characters. And after we have that, we'll be able to do the 360 video you guys saw. So the point of this is to actually extrapolate frames from the 360 so that if, say, like I wanted this shot right here, I can actually do this a bit of a different way. Yes, here. So if we wanted, we could open these up in Chrome. So if you follow the tutorial, you'll be able to open it up in Chrome, say, I want this shot. I want the characters walking from this angle. Then you can just right click, copy video frame, and then just bring it right into Midjourney. And start generating a video from that angle. But that's very basic. Like that gets us the exact same shot just continued as a video. But what if we wanted a shot inspired by that angle or at that angle? Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna use it as an image prompt. Can't read. Can anyone write down the prompt? The prompt it's a couple prompts that's going to get us there. So let me go ahead and just start with this one here that I have as an example for you guys. So the prompt is over the shoulder shot in an animated dark fantasy depicting two adventurers arguing in a dungeon. A brown hooded female rogue with a satchel and a black skinned mummy wearing a witch hat. The idea here is that we're using this image here as a style reference, which is one of an earlier prompts that's in the tutorial. And then we are using this image here as an OREF. And the idea is that the OREF would allow for as much character diversity, like in terms of like the changes in their poses and their position in the frame, but allow for consistency in the backgrounds and in the environment that we're going to be taking as a shot today. So the whole thing is quite a lot to consume all at once. So please don't feel, I mean, if you feel overwhelmed already, just know that we're going to take this step by step here in just a moment. But I want to show you guys a version of what I made here. There is no audio yet. We are going to do an audio play for next week. But I wanted to show you guys a cut of this of what the fruits of the labor are, right? So let's go ahead and just play that. Let's see. Here we go. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. And like I said, there's no audio. Rhapsody actually did a wonderful audio pass on this already, but we're gonna spend a week just focused on the audio play. So check this out though. All right. Okay. I know with no audio, it might be a little bit a little bit jarring to understand. Like there's the dialogue that's here is it hasn't been ad libbed fully yet, but I wanted to show you guys that we were able to get this insane consistency shot by shot by shot and getting wonderful performances from all the characters just by working with that turnaround as the start. So we basically capture our angles and start producing the film that way. So thank you. I'm excited to show you guys the audio play version, and I know that we.
I can't wait to.
Yeah, I know, and I know you can. It's gonna be really stoked because we got some fun voice actors to actually voice the two characters here. So we'll be getting all that done for you guys next week. But I feel like the audio play is going to be an entire kind of focus in of itself. So. I'm just really stoked that we're able to do this. Like, this is ridiculous to get this level of performance out of the characters, right? And that's all thanks to Midjourney video prompts. So let's get into it. Better than a ton of shows I've worked on. Yeah, we're going to be quickly jarring a lot of people in the animation industry, I feel, with this kind of stuff, honestly. Like, especially if we start to construct this as a professional, like, production, it's going to be something to where you really show off whether or not, like, you have those animation chops to put this all together, to understand that, you know, at least your scene and your dialogue that is being on display is going to all be, it needs to all be coherent. It needs to all be like meshed together in a way that feels like it's in the same space, which is something that's harder to do than it sounds. So we're going to get into that right now in terms of getting this all set up for you guys. But if you want to immediately experiment, you're welcome to hit the reroll button on this prompt right here. That will get you a this shot angle. I'm sorry, this basic setup. But if you notice, the link at the very, very front of this prompt here is actually from one of the turnarounds that I had produced. I had created a turnaround with this scene, and we showed this angle, and it reproduces that angle because we used it as an image prompt. I have to be coherent. That doesn't sound like me. Let's see here. I want to start from scratch with you guys. I want to make sure that we basically start fresh with an idea of the kind of images that we're producing with those. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna paste that image. This is that angle that we copied earlier, okay? And I'm just gonna submit that to Discord right off the bat. What this does is it gives us a link that we can then copy. It's a little more streamlined to do this on the website, but I want to make sure we do as much on Discord as we can, and then as much inside of the external editor that we can. And I'll leave my temptation to jump into After Effects for another day. But let's go. Ooh, I see that we already have some cool combos. We have from Gom Pasta here. We have Brecky and Gloom, or Glum or Gloom. I think it was Gloomy. That was her. This is cool. I'm excited to see us expanding on this new scene, because I'm just going to show you guys the one I made as a demo, but I want to, the goal for today is to use your all's characters and make our own version of these turnarounds so that you can easily start creating film coverage. And I'll dig into all the details of what film coverage exactly is, because this is a new way to apply this. Animation doesn't have film coverage. You don't normally have separate takes. So the act of having separate takes is something unique to movies, right? Like when you're working with actors, and we are doing that. We are far more working with actors than we are working with animation puppets when it comes to this, especially this method of every time we generate something different happens, right? So let's go ahead and take this link that we have and copy the prompt that we had earlier. I just got to scroll back up to here real quick. Okay. I'm going to re-roll this, and then I'm going to replace the link at the front of the prompt with the link of the new angle, the new shot angle I picked. It's just an upward angle. I'm going to paste that into here. It's a long link. Okay. And then we are going to say that this is not an over-the-shoulder shot, because now it's a top-down. So I'm going to say that this is let's go with a high-angle top-down shot in an animated dark fantasy anime depicting two adventurers arguing in a dungeon. This is going to change their performance by saying what they're doing in the shot, because it's not featured inside of the image prompt. It's just them standing next to each other. Okay. And then the rest of the prompt is basically just character description, which if you do read the tutorial, it basically describes that the character. Let me find that again really quick. Yeah, just a second. There you go, camera coverage. If you do read the tutorial, you'll see that there is a section about how to describe your characters. And I do find it quite important to keep the description short and concise, but reliable, which means testing. You're going to have to test out different words that coincide with your characters in order to make sure that the rest of your verbiage that's used inside of your prompts is focused towards everything else, right? I've noticed this, that when people have like massive prompts with character description, that description gets in the way of your intent. Like if you start describing the shoes of your character and the shot never includes their feet, you know what I mean? You're actually encouraging the shot to be different than what is intended, especially if you're using image prompts to guide the compositions like this. So just be short and concise with your prompts when it comes to the character descriptions, and then the rest of it is your embellishment of the scene. So now what I want to do is I've already showed you guys the style reference, and I've showed you the omni reference, which is just the two characters standing with each other. And now I'm going to hit submit on this. Depending on the result is how we're going to change the image weights. I consider my especially my use of Midjourney as iterative, as in the first image I get is never the one that I'm probably going to use. I might get some cool things every once in a while, but the reality is that I am remixing and editing these images significantly to the point where we can't say that it's just one image anymore. Especially when people go like, "Hey, this is all AI is low effort." This is how you prove them otherwise. It's by showing them the process. Oh, that's cute. I'm liking the hands. That's so cute. But we're starting to get our shots here. And you notice that it's already, just in this little blurry preview of it, it's already super exciting. Like the angles are starting to replicate the angle of the image weight that's here. Which, just to remind you guys what that looks like, I'm going to have that open for you guys here. It's okay, cool. So that's the angle that we're shooting at here. And the result that we got doesn't always preserve it perfectly, but look at the top left. Look at the bottom left. These are very close to the angle. It's actually more in the shot description. But what if it wasn't close enough for you? You want it to be even more like the image reference. This is already really good. But let's go ahead and re-roll this one more time. And we're going to add one parameter to this, which is called image weight. It's one of the oldest parameters in terms of controlling or manipulating with images inside of your prompts. What we're going to do is we're going to add --IW, and then write the weight as being above 1, because the default being 1. We can go as high as 3. So what if we set it to 2.5? Okay. I see a Jonan Vasquez comic. Hold on. But I'm going to hit submit here on image weight 2.5. I'll also explain what happens when you go too high with that number. But what I'm going to do is first take a look at this Gloomy. This is my favorite song. I have to dance. This is from one of my favorite comics of all time, by the way. Thank you so much for sharing that, Gloomy. The Johnny the Homicidal Maniac comics are amazing, and I don't remember if this is from one of the spin-offs of Johnny, but it is definitely one of my favorite comics. I remember this scene. That's awesome. Let's see here. All right, so I'm also seeing some cool stuff from Goem that's already getting made, and we'll be digging through everything you guys make here by the end of the stream. So let's see what we got going on here. With this little test shot here. Did the image weight, let's see. Okay, yes, okay. So you can see here that with the higher image weight, we got even more exaggeration closer towards the intent of what's written in the prompt, but also what's inside of the image itself. If we go too high with the image weight, what tends to happen is a bit of like a muddling or a convolution of details to where it just doesn't really make a lot of sense. So you can definitely max that number up too high. But what I want to show you guys here is we're starting to see where the higher omni weight is starting to repeat certain behaviors on Vermin, particularly. Notice he is always holding his hat in all four of these results, even when he's turning and whatnot. If we want that to have less of an effect, basically to lower the continuity of what's inside of our omni reference, which, he's holding his hat here, then the only thing we have to do is lower the omni weight. So let's re-roll this one more time, and let's set the omni weight from 175 to 50. And then hit submit. And we'll see what sort of results we get off of this. We will also be running video prompts for you guys. You can make requests for those inside of VC Text. Just post the image you want us to run inside of VC Text. Everything goes quite fast in VC Create, and one of us will run it as a video. What are we going to say, Raps?
Either that or just respond to your own image and ping me.
Yeah. Just you're welcome to. The only person who shouldn't be is me, just because I probably will not see it. I keep my account on Do Not Disturb on purpose because it just gets very loud when I don't. But let's see here. Let's take a look at what we get with the lower omni reference. Okay. With the lower omni reference, notice how Vermin is no longer holding his hat anymore, right? This is essentially how you can calibrate your shots. Because at this point, we have so much variety that is inside of this scene. And it's almost all because we've included all of we have an understanding of what each parameter does. And taking advantage of that their character is featured inside of all three of the images. So it is super powerful when you start to split up what the intent is for each one of these parameters. Style reference is only controlling the color palette and the aesthetics of this shot. Omni reference is controlling our characters and the consistency of those characters in the shot. And the image weight is instead constraining the exact pixels of where they are in the image. So it is something that when you balance all three, you get real control. And also real continuity too. Like in terms of the details here, there's a little bit of convolution that happens between the two characters always. Like there will always be these potential mistakes. Like Flora, for example, has Vic's legs in this shot right here. But that at the same time, if we were like, oh man, that shot is so close, if only the legs were different, there are two options for you here. We can either just do a variation on that shot. So let's just say a variation subtle, and that may fix it. It may, change just her legs, or maybe break the continuity in other places. Or we can in-paint it using Vary Region or using the website's external editor to bring in just a reference for her and say, all right, she's standing here. This is the angle we want. So on. Okay, so this is Adorbs from Golem. Yes, it is. I love that you've preserved the height difference between the two so heavily with this image. It's so cute. Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, I want to see that variation here. Okay. So with the variation, you notice that now her shorts are a bit longer in some, and how they're mummified because of the description that's here. Maybe we can go even farther with this one and do it as a remix instead. So if we did variation subtle, and then remove the description about Vic being a mummy, that might help also reduce that. But for the most part, I just in-paint this. I just say, hey, give her some new legs, and let's reference what those legs are. I'll do that in Discord for you guys really quick, but we do need to get an image of just her. And this dabbles back into actually something Golem had made for us inside of the character portal, the knowledge portal. So if we click on knowledge base here, boop, and then we scroll to what inspired this process is the using video to create turnarounds from Golem Pasta. And this is a really, really handy tutorial. I'm just going to link it to you guys as well. This is how we can start off setting up, our characters at different, angles or shots just with one character. This is expanding to entire scenes. So let's do character turnaround tutorial from Gompasta. There you go. All right. So inside of this it teaches you about how I made something like this. So we get these nice turnarounds of these characters. But we made one for Flora specifically for this scene. So if I come over back to the character portal now, and we search for Flora, who's the female character featured in this scene, we can click on her and see that this is the turnaround that generated with it. And although it does have a buckle in the back, which is the only inconsistent element of this, it's very good. It gives me everything that I need in order to image reference her from different angles. So for this, we needed the backside of her for a different shot that I had earlier. And so this is the frame that I pulled out for that. So let's do something similar where we take this and we'll use it for in-painting just to fix this shot. So I'm going to copy the... This is the GIF. That's right. I need the actual video file. That's fine. We'll make it work with this. This actually should preserve enough of the info on her, but let's go ahead and grab one of the earlier shots. So something like this. Okay. And let me do a quick snippet of just her on the left side, because I don't really want to have both images of her, especially with omnireference. It tends to make like duplicate characters and stuff. So we're just going to take the left side of this image. Copy. And then inside of VC Create, I am going to post that as a image. Hit copy link, copy address to this image. And now I am just going to use Niji 6 or an earlier version of Midjourney in order to in-paint this. So let's take this. Let's take the original image because I did like that one a bit more. Yeah, there we go here. And I'm going to say vary region. And we are going to just select her legs here. Like this. And because the shadows feature legs separated here, like the shadows super influence what results we get because it needs to make the image make as much sense as possible by default. So by including the little separation in the shadows, we actually are heavily enforcing that she should have legs here without anything even written in the prompt. But what we're going to do is first delete the prompt entirely because we're going to use a earlier version of Midjourney to do the in-painting. We're going to use character referencing, --cref. And then chaos. What is this? There's another chaos in the room. Oh no. Oh hi. What are all the mods doing here? Hi. But we're gonna use character referencing to fix up these legs here real quick. So we're gonna say that this is a brown hooded rogue. Yeah.
You're in trouble. That's why.
I'm in trouble.
Yeah,
because
the ancient chaos pressed the trouble button, and now you're in the midst of the biggest trouble ever.
Oh no. Oh no, I'm shaking. I'm shaking in my boots. Am duck, not cat person. Yep, there you go. Okay, all right. So let me just show this really quick. We're going to say this is a brown hooded rogue. And we don't really need to do too much wording on this because the character reference is going to significantly fill in a lot of these details. But we're going to just say that she's a brown hooded rogue. We'll say female rogue, just to kind of encourage a little more feminine leggings. But now I am going to write --Niji 6, just because we are doing an anime aesthetic. Let's go with Niji 6 for this. I'm just going to hit submit. The point is that we're using an earlier oh, wait, let's see here. Syntax not supported. Okay, so I might need to load this up in the external editor. Let's see, or either that or the link is broken. Let me try that really quick. Make sure this link works. Yeah, the link works. Okay, I'll try it in the external editor. Let's see here. Was that an ORF? Yeah, it needs to be external. Okay, all right, no worries. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Midjourney's external editor by copying the image address to this image. And we could upscale it. We could do all that stuff. I'm not going to worry about that right now. But I will go to midjourney.com, click on edit, and then edit from URL, and then paste that URL. Okay. And now we'll do the same thing that we did earlier. We basically just select all of her legs here that we want to change. Okay. And we had the image earlier. Copy that. I can literally just copy the image instead of worrying about a link here. But in order to use an earlier version of Midjourney using the website, we need to actually click on the settings button up here and switch from 7 to Niji 6. What that's going to do is it's going to let us paste the image and bring it to something called character referencing, which is an older version of what we now have in version 7 is omni-referencing. Whenever you paste an image, it also adds it as a layer inside of the external editor. You could just delete that. You don't need that. But now that we have this, let's go ahead and say that this is a brown-hooded female rogue. Okay. And that should be everything that we need. And we could describe the scene, we could describe the location to help us kind of hone in, maybe even a description of the pose she's in, like maybe she's nervous or anything like that. There's a lot of body language that can be conveyed at this stage. But for now, we're just going to give us plenty of room to inpaint here and then hit submit. What are you guys all doing inside the chat here? It's the gooseless. Yes, you guys all don't have any geese. No. Okay, yeah, and we'll be checking out everything that you guys have made here in a bit. But look at that! Look what it did! We got some legs on her now. And you have to kind of re-roll this 1 or 2 times in order to get exactly the right, proportions or anything like that. But this is really good right here. Like, we'll be able to make this work. I usually spam this a couple times, like 2 or 3 times, in order to give us plenty of options whenever I'm doing this. I tend to find myself picking, one of the earlier ones that I did. But yeah. Look at the legs. Yeah, there you go.
Snoopy, with the thing that Snoopy posted is an adventure.
Is it an adventure? Yeah. Do you want me to check it out?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll download it really quick.
You will laugh your ass off.
Okay, good. Good. Let's check it out. Oh, he's going. He's going.
Oh yeah, he's going places.
Somehow going uphill on a skateboard. Oh my god! No! No, don't cause a war crime, dog. Oh, that's too funny. You're not allowed to cause war crime, Snoopy. Okay. Alright, that was great. Thank you for sharing. I was invested the whole time with that, yeah. In fact, I do want to do a shout out really quick. I was super invested in what Alistair was showing yesterday on our premiere for her film. She has nearly an hour-long film that was posted on our server. So you can catch up with it by clicking on the update log and seeing it, but it's called The Courageous Golden Heart, and we did a whole watch party for it yesterday, and it was super cool to see all that love and hard work she put in on display, and also just kind of breaking down what she had done. So very cool. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, and it is something that I hope to see many more of them soon. But she officially gets the crown of saying she made the first movie with the gnarly crew, so that's really cool. Because it's like an hour long. It's a commitment. It's awesome. But let's go ahead and now dabble ourselves back to. Oh, thank you for sharing
Here's
that.
the playlist.
Awesome. Yeah, you could. It's played. It is a playlist, so it's many small clips, but when they're all in sequence, it's like an hour long. So. Let's see here. Okay, so in the external editor, we ran this a couple of times just to see if we had some options, because we don't actually feature the bottom of her legs, so we should expect a lot of variety in how her feet look with this scene. Like I said, I tend to pick one of the early ones I like. This is so far my favorite, but I would say that this one's pretty good. I like this one. Okay, so let's upscale this to gallery. And now we have this shot. You could see that I was messing around with some performance stuff with Vermin before we were streaming here today. I have that'll be later on in this is talking about how to get characters to perform and do things as we expect them to be. because they are actors. Like they should be treated as such. They need to be given proper direction and also be given plenty of room inside of the space to be able to do their performance. Yeah, oftentimes, if like a hand leaves from frame, they'll bring the hand back and they're holding a sword or they're doing something else with it. So giving plenty of headroom around the characters definitely helps, or just plenty of room for them to reach. I basically say make the shot composed to at least the size, or if not longer, than their reach is, because that gives you make sure the characters don't suddenly get a bunch of props in their hand or anything like that. But now that we have this image upscaled here, we're able to use this as the shot of maybe them approaching that door we saw earlier, right? And they're having a little conversation about it or anything. We can basically start directing what we want to see the scene being by using Midjourney Video. So we can drag this over to start frame on the website, or we can use this Discord to run this as a video prompt there. For videos specifically, I highly recommend doing midjourney.com for it. It's a bit cleaner for what we want to do, but overall, we'll see what we get off of just running this with no description whatsoever to start, just to give us a baseline so that you guys know like what sort of default we got off of this, so that we know how to embellish on it later. The tutorial is kind of a bit of a spoiler of what words I used for that. So let's go ahead and see what else that you guys have done in the meantime, because I know there's a lot. Let's scroll all the way down first, just so I can see the most up-to-date version from you guys of little video clips and things that you've made, and we'll just dial ourselves back at this point. So I see that we have some stuff with raps with Roxy and I'm blanking on the other character right now. Can you remind me? Yona, thank you. Yeah, with
Yona.
Roxy.
They are supposed to be. Yeah, they are supposed to be friends in the world, but it's stupid hard to get both of them into with their respective features on one screen.
Yeah,
because they share so many similarities.
Yeah, for example, I actually can't get Vermin to look like how he's supposed to look like using all these profiles. By the way, it over beautifies him, and I'm not surprised with your profiles, but it tends to take away that sort of roughness that he has and gives him more of an anime protagonist look. So it might even be within the profiles that you want to make some adjustments. But let's take a look. Okay, so this is Gloomy, and oh my god, that is so cute. This is a pretty common... Oh my god, she grabs with both hands to turn around. That's so cute. Now, this is a common problem with just AI video in general, is that sometimes the hands will flip, like which ones are holding which or anything like that. This is just something where it takes doing rerolls in order to get the exact intent, or at least to get this cleaner. But I do think this is really cool. It's really cute. The flip kind of works thanks to she's using both hands.
Purpose.
I'm sorry?
Exactly. I think it's pretty perfect. Like, I have seen children of that age doing this exact thing, walking all around you just to grab the other hand and then walk with you.
Yeah. No, this is definitely a child's behavior. It is a very good shot. I don't mean to dampen that at all. It's more along the lines of when she's crossing here that I was talking about, where it's going, now she's holding, and I get that little kids do that kind of stuff too, but it is very cute. I want to see if we can capture an orbiting shot with these two here, because it is very cute. Let me see here. Yeah, this is the same. Okay, let's go ahead, and I want to see from Dharma. Anime screen cap of a cowboy girl with horse ears, wearing blue denim clothes, a cowboy hat, long blonde twin tail hair, and a young girl in a purple raincoat walking through a prairie. Oh, that's that is what you describe, right? It's very cute. And the characters are actually in this first shot, at a good distance to show off this. I have never done it with a horse before. Don't take that quote out of context. I've never done a 360 prompt with a horse before. So let's see how this goes. Let's go ahead and see that. Okay. All right. Let's take this and copy this. No, stop. Okay, we first need to make this actually fit. I was about to take that. Screw you guys. Okay. All right.
Oh, this lives on the internet forever now.
I know it does. Everything does that I do. Okay, let's first make this a shot.
Wait until you post this YouTube video.
Yeah, it's gonna be all over the comments. Let's go ahead and say let's first make this a shot for 16:9 in order to be a video. I do heavily recommend making sure that the final things you run in video are in 16:9 or another popular video format. If you're doing vertical video, that's fine. I hate it. I don't like how video like vertical videos are or anything like that. They just don't feel cinematic to me at all. I always feel like I'm just watching a movie cropped in, so I'm not going to use it. Let's go ahead and make this one a 16:9 shot here by using custom zoom here. This is something that we can do. In fact, this might not work with OmniReference. Is there an OmniReference? No. Okay, cool. So let's see if this works. Custom zoom does let us do this with earlier versions of Midjourney, so we'll give it a try. We'll switch the zoom to 1 so that it doesn't actually zoom out at all, and we'll change the aspect ratio to 16:9. It lives rent free, huh? Yeah, I'm sure it does. Okay, and so because we're not describing anything else outside of the prairie, like there's not going to be any additional characters in this zoom out. Let's just say that this is an anime screen cap of a prairie, and then hit submit. Did this work? Let's see. The idea here is if we use the exact same prompt, what would happen is that it might encourage there to be horses or children or whatever, in this scene. So I at least in the frames or the outer edge of this frame. So by excluding that from the prompt, when we did the expansion, look at this. This is great, actually. Let's go ahead and take the 4th image and use that. There's a couple different ways that we can describe the actual act of spinning around the characters here. I tend to find that a goose full. That's fun. But let's go ahead and try a couple of these out to see if we can get a good result off of this. So I'm going to first hit the make video, animate high motion. Low motion might be necessary, we'll see. But I'm going to describe this as a 360-degree orbiting shot around 2 characters. Let's, okay. 360 orbiting shot around 2 characters. I believe this is the exact prompt. I'll double check the exact verbiage here, but 360 orbiting shot around 2 characters. We might need to describe the horse, but let's just go ahead and hit submit on this and see what we get. I tend to describe my prompts in first person when I'm doing video prompts specifically because it lets me be able to say things like, they're walking away from us, they're walking towards us, they walk past us. Walking past you is actually a really great video prompt because it encourages them to like the perspective of them to change as well as not, because you get a lot of zooms otherwise, a lot of just punching in to specific characters, whatever you've described in your video prompt. If you say that they're walking past us or anything like that, you tend to get a lot more of a real cinematic feel to it. But let's see what we get off of this. And while this is rendering, I am also going to grab some of the prompts that I had used earlier from our little tutorial here. So let's see here. Boom. And then I am describing the scene on this panel here. This one. Okay. 360-degree footage. Okay, I use the word footage in the tutorial. Okay. Let's go ahead and double ourselves back really quick. Check out how this is rendering. Okay, so we're definitely getting a good spin on the horse, but I'm wondering if we're able to actually capture this or if the horse is just going to be walking through this. We might describe them as a static moment in time, or it's a freeze frame or something like that in order to encourage them not to move, but we'll see how that goes. Let's animate on low motion this time. And I'm going to say that this is 360-degree footage depicting us spinning around two characters and a horse. Why not? I'll just add a horse to the prompt. In a prairie. In an open prairie. Okay, submit. Replicant, all the eyes, please. All right, let's see if we got this. Okay, you can see that the horse is definitely moving along. Like we're definitely just getting walking footage of them, and I'm not surprised by this. It's very much going to be encouraged by that by default. We are starting to see a different angle of the horse from this result, which is probably just like a byproduct of us trying to orbit. But let's try to say that this is a moment in time, and then if this gives us a lot of trouble, we'll actually force multiple angles and use an end frame of the horse at a different position. Just because I do recognize that this is adding a whole other step of logistics is to throw this big animal in here. So let's go ahead and also render a freeze frame of this scene. So I'm going to say that this is because I feel like with the animate on low motion, we might be able to, yeah, I think this is actually going to work better with low motion. So let's do this. Low motion. Let's say that this is a two characters frozen in time as we spin around them, 360-degree footage. I'm tempted to write, and there's a horse, but we'll just go ahead and do this. It looks like we did get a flip here, so I'm curious at how dramatic of a flip it is. Oh, that's cute though. I love how the horse is moving on the top right here. But you can see that we're definitely maybe with the low motion it's having trouble rotating the background around, so we might try this one with high motion, but it is promising. So let me grab this prompt from here actually. You know what? I'm gonna grab yeah, I want to grab the frozen in time one because I feel like that might help us with high motion here. Oops, that's low. There we go. We could use hyphen raw to encourage more of a literal interpretation of the prompt, but I'm gonna just go with this here, and then we'll move on to a different shot, just because I recognize that we could just keep re-rolling this to infinity. But I really do want to do as many shots, as many characters as possible today, in order to get us prepared for the next stream, which I hopefully will be focused on audio plays and actually acting inside of your shots. Let's see here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't wait. I put so much time and effort into that soundscape and doing all the things. I even grabbed my keyboard and connected everything and played stuff on it.
It's so cool. And it sounds great. Like the audio space in it is super cool. We'll be digging into all that here real soon. But let's go ahead and see the render. Okay, yes, we'll let that render here. We can see that we didn't really get too much of a spin. We got a little bit here on the top left. It started doing it, but I feel like with the low motion, it gave us some trouble there. Let's see. These archers are walking past you. Okay, let's see here. I want to take a different scene, and we're going to try to create another orbiting shot here. In fact, do you guys have any that you are happy with your two characters? Because I really am encouraging two characters for this, because I really want to be able to show the kind of dynamics that you have with having two characters in a single video prompt. So if you do have one that you really like, share it in VC text, and we'll start. If not, I'm going to make one myself. But I do think I definitely want to run one with Brecky here. You're close?
I'm close. I actually managed to change the prompt to separate the character's features, which is really nice.
Nice.
And I used a little trick there, which sometimes work, especially in version 7, which is just separating them with character 1 and character 2. But it's like, it's still not perfect, but it works better.
That's cool. I'm curious to see the fruits of that. I see Stony Z submitted a character here. Awesome. So let's go ahead and grab that character, and let's try to get them in. Let's see here. Like, I'm curious what you want to do with this scene, with this character particularly, but I'm gonna try to first create like a full body turnaround of the character. So let's say that this is an Omni reference. Paste the link to this image right here. Copy image address. I made it with an image of myself as the reference. It's awesome. That's cool. Let's go ahead and paste that image link as an Omni reference. And now I'm going to describe this as a full body character sheet. Let's not sheet. Full body character on a white background, and encourage that we get a full body character with an aspect ratio of 4:5, or like 2:3, or no 3:2. I mean, anything that gives us a more vertical frame for this is probably better. Full body character on a white background, and we could go in to describe the character, but I'm going to just submit this as is. Literally just learned that that control backspace deletes words, whole words. Oh yeah, yeah. Let's see here.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it highlights the whole word when you hold control and then backspace.
Oh my god. How am I this long into computers and didn't know this?
Yeah, we're all past 30 years on computing, and we still find out new things.
Do you know how much time I would have saved programming knowing?
I can't help but giggle at that.
Learned.
All right, so here's Stoney's character here, based off themselves. Super cute. I'm gonna go with either probably the third one. I'm probably gonna. It's very Laura Croft. I like it. So let's now do a turnaround to create a full reference of this. Let's see here. We're gonna do a animate on low motion, and we're gonna say that this is a 3D model turnaround of a let's just do a goth cat girl. And I'm just that's gonna be my verbiage, Stonies. You're welcome to give me a proper description of the character, but I'm just gonna go with this to see what sort of hallucination of a 3D model we get off of this, because that's essentially what we're taking advantage of here. Is Midjourney providing an image of the character from angles that are not featured in the original shot or the original result. So extrapolating those frames and all that we've covered before a couple times now, but we need to do this in order to understand the character for ourselves before we can ever prompt with it. I especially when it comes to like creating original characters, you really do need to have reference images, consistently available to you. This is regardless if you're using AI or not. Plenty of traditional artists that have drawn their own characters for decades have references sitting on their desk so that they know what they do. Or what they have to do. But we're already getting some good results off of this. I am curious if the if all of these are gonna have a tail or not, but we'll see. Because Cat Girl can sometimes encourage that. This is cute though. I like this wraps.
Yeah, that's a good one. I tried to follow the tutorial. What's the next step?
The next
I have
step.
my image.
Now, I will say, with all the
Only the
chickens,
turnaround.
it's going to do some interesting stuff. In terms of
I
trying to
know.
keep them all,
I
I'm
know.
consistent. I'm so curious about that. We ran into an issue with one horse, so I'm curious if we can expand on this. But let's see what the turnaround gave us. All right. The fourth result is very useful. It has in terms of consistency, it's good. I like how her tail is a fake tail stuck to the back of her belt. Like it's fun there. But let's go ahead and use the fourth image or the fourth video result here. Have that upscale. Okay, and you can see here it's pretty consistent. Like we're gonna have everything we need with just this turnaround. I just did a turnaround sheet, forgetting my own guide. That's funny. But let's go ahead and download this. And then I take that download and I open it up in Chrome. Okay? And when we have it open in Chrome, we can find the specific frame that we want to use. Like let's do like a profile of her here. We want to hit pause first and then find that profile. I like this. Let's go ahead and right click that and hit copy video frame. Okay? And now that we have this video frame, we could composite it together with another character inside of, even MS Paint or anything like that. I'm just going to quickly hop myself over to Photoshop in order to do it there. Actually, no. I refuse to do that. Let's actually do this inside of Midjourney's external editor because I really do want to keep active on that. So let's go ahead and hit edit. It's just my instinct, guys. My instinct is to go back and do this stuff with the programs that I've used for 2 decades. But this external editor from Midjourney is extremely powerful. And what we can do is hit new on here. And let's just copy from a URL. So I don't have a URL of this image yet. A nice little hack that we can do is just go up to the bar up here, paste an image, and then right click on this image to get a to get our image in here. Oh, okay. If we just paste it, that works too. It depends for me on what version I'm using, but yes. Okay, cool. So we have this image in here now. We could include another profile shot of the character here, but for this image here, we could just use the removal tool. So we go to Smart Select here. And we select the character, and we just start selecting parts of them, and then boom, Midjourney figures it out that this is the character we want. We say remove background, erase background. And we could easily recomposite this character into any shot we want. But I'm actually going to start off with a different image here because I realize that we're going to need to have 2 characters side by side, and if it's a profile, it's not going to do a good job at that. So let's double ourselves back a little bit here. Go to new. We go get our first frame here. Copy image, copy video frame, come into Midjourney, paste that image into here, and it's going to now populate that image. Okay, so now let's grab another character from our character portal. Character portal. I see there's already new submissions for Gloomy and Brecky. That's awesome. But let's go ahead and put someone here with Stoney's character. Stylistic, it's important to get as close to like a similar style as we can. So this is much more, or there's more realism in this one. So let's see if we can find a character that leans a little more towards that. Let's see here. If not, we'll just generate a character inspired by Stoney's as a companion. But let's do. Might be a little too much, but this we'll go with Hepcat. It's you and us. It's you and us as the submitter of this character. So let's go ahead and take this image of them, copy, and now go back to the external editor, and we're just going to paste that second image into the external editor. Okay, and now we want to make sure that we just have her. She will be holding her mic. But we will just use the Smart Select tool to grab her and the mic. Come on, include the mic. And if you don't get your complete selection like this little frayed bits, that's fine. We're going to just hit to erase the background on this, and then go into the painting tool, and then restore her parts of her that got deleted. It works based on each layer that you're working on. So if you just need to edit this one layer, you have it here. If you need to edit all of them, you need to compress it down. But let's go ahead and submit this. Okay, I'll restore her shoulder a little bit here. Now we can go into move, and we can move these two characters side by side. Something about the same proportions is what I'm going to be aiming for here. Maybe a little shorter on her. And then we're going to scale this up so that we're just getting this here. Unless we really like her boots. And I do like her boots. So let's try this instead. I'm going to go into the editor here and hit paint. And then on the bottom layer here, I'm going to remove this here. And this is going to encourage that there's that these white pants get filled in. And I'll go ahead and raise her up just a little bit here because I feel like her knees are not going to sit in the right place for this. So let's do move, bring her up, scale her down a little bit, and then maybe put her, we'll scale her back up a bit. Let's go for something like that. Okay. And I do see a couple little frayed bits that I'm going to quickly clean up using the erasing tool here. Just get rid of these. There we go. And now crop that in. Like so. And we're going to say that this is two characters standing side by side on a white background. If you're not happy with some of the frayed edges and other things like that, you can just erase those after you've compressed this down so that it sees it as one image. But let's just go ahead and hit submit on this. Oh wait, that's right, full cropping. That's right, I gotta go back and not do the cropping just yet. We'll do the cropping next. Full cropping means that you're cropping both like vertically and horizontally. You're basically punching in or whatever. Like it's just a lot better to take this one step at a time. I tend to jump that step a lot. Drawing in the air from Noob Lady. Let's see. I see. Graffiti time. Oh, Enid doing some character stuff here. That's pretty cool. So we can add alpha layers, but can we make alpha layers as in cutouts of our characters already in the editor? Yeah. Awesome. Well, do you want to explain that really quick, Raps? Because I'm a little confused by what she's asking there.
She's asking if we can make a full cutout of a character with transparency inside of the Midjourney editor. And I think you showed this last time or the one before, how you can export, like if you have selected everything and deleted everything around a character, you could just export that.
Oh yeah, with the download image button. That's right. Yeah. So
Yes.
yeah, as long as you don't upscale to gallery, you can download an image that includes the alpha channel. Okay, all right, I understand.
Yeah.
But you can see here that we have her now with a couple different leg options here. So we'll go with this one. I think that works. They're about the same perspective, at least good enough. And now that we have this image, I can finally crop in this last little bit here and then hit submit. And this is just going to lock in this crop here. I could in-paint her hair on the top left here to be less frayed. I'm not going to worry about that right now. We'll just go ahead and get this cropped in like so. All four of these images are going to be the same because I only did a crop. So now I can download this image. And now we can use that as an Omni reference. So inside of, I'll do this on the yeah. What's going on?
Just go and VC create at the bottom.
Okay.
It's getting weird.
It's getting weird. Okay, I already made it weird. So let's see how weird you guys get. Is it one of these turnarounds here? Oh. Look, they do it spins. That's funny. Yeah, it is quite common to have the characters only doing the spinning instead of the scene, but usually a high motion fixes that. You can see like on the top left, it's starting to do it. Like, oh wow, you actually got it on the top right here. In order to start to get a
I got it multiple times.
That's very cool.
I got it multiple times. I'm just not happy with like if you write the 180-degree spin around prompt from Compass's tutorial for character turnarounds, it seems to be a very technical term, So Midjourney kind of understands that you want the camera to move in a specific way, or it preserves everything that's in the image mostly. I'm just not happy with the movement of the chickens.
Well,
They
using them
just
as
turn
image
around.
prompts doesn't really the actual
Yeah,
animation doesn't matter too much because you're just going to preserve the angle of the attack basically of the
that's
camera.
true.
But it is.
That's true, and I
Go ahead.
yeah, and I also try to get a turnaround in the other direction, just so to have options from both perspectives over the shoulder.
Right, right. And this is definitely giving us a nice over the shoulder of them talking here. Even if we just exported this frame and then in painted out these chickens, you would have everything you need. Um,
Yeah.
but let me go ahead and go back up to the editor. Was that the last thing I did? Oh, that's right. I upscaled, right? Let's see. No. Where is it? Let's see. Hold on a second. Oh, that's right. I did just download it, didn't I? Yeah, I think so. Just confirm I did. Okay, perfect. Didn't need to upscale it. Okay, so we're going to copy this image. And I'm just going to do this inside the here and just paste this. All right, now we have it up on the top bar here. I'm going to switch us back to version 7. Boop. Drag that over to OmniReference. And like I said in the tutorial, you're welcome to use the style reference if you like. Like if you're really trying to preserve a certain aesthetic or look, you can use a style reference. You can use profile codes if you want. But in order to not get too like convoluted with different parameters here, I'm gonna just do this as is, and let's just say that these two are let's say that they are K-pop singers in at a concert, singing at a concert. Aspect ratio 16:9. And let's say that there's two of them because we really want to make sure that we focus that there are two characters in this shot. So 2 K-pop singers singing at a concert. Let's go ahead and submit this and see what it gets us. I hope you guys are enjoying this stream. I'm sorry that there's a lot of like back and forth going on here because we are working off of a tutorial that I had built, but I'm so excited about what we can do with this because it means that we can finally start constructing completed scenes and movies with character performances. And I'm just so stoked for that. It's so cool.
Yeah. It's extendable outwards, like with these reference shots, getting an idea of the surroundings. Then taking frames out of that, outpainting the characters. Then you have a background plate suddenly that you can use as OREF to get environment shots. That's how I got the beginning shots from the video that Victor showed in the beginning. That is always referencing the same location. So that there is multiple more things we can continue after that.
For sure. And you can see here that, but just the description of 2 K-pop singers singing at a concert. Now the other character is holding a microphone, and their styles are a little more unified, which is good for the next step here. But you'll notice that it also preserved the white background because guess what? I didn't describe a background here, so OmniReference isn't going to just magically add one. But if we go ahead and say, yeah, this is pretty good. Like at least one of the results matched my expectations. Let's hit use and then describe the scene as being seen at a. Oh, I wrote at a concern, not a concert. Sometimes flubbing the verbiage will do that. Let's do a K-pop singing at a concert, and let's say that this is a. Let's give a specific concert hall like K-pop singers at Carnegie Hall. Sure, Carnegie Hall. Let's say that this is a long shot depicting 2 people on stage at Carnegie Hall. We could also lower the Omni reference to encourage that it doesn't see the white background nearly as much. It's a lot more effective to just describe what you want to see in your background than it is to use negative prompts or anything like that. At least in my opinion. I thought K-pop singers also hunted demons. Everyone loves that show. I haven't checked it out yet. We got some cool results with this one. I'm going to go ahead and link this inside of VC Create for you guys because it way more matched the intention than the other previous ones we've done. So let's go ahead and hit more and then copy and then job ID. Job ID. That lets us bring prompts into the Discord server as well as just any other place that you can find the Midjourney bot. So let's go ahead and hit /show inside of VC Create. All right, so here are our 4 results. I think the fourth one and the first one and maybe the third one make the most sense for like what we want to do. I think that we'd have to in-paint 1 or 2 things with the first one because of the extended like broken wire on the shot. So I'm just going to go with the let's go with the third one here. We might want to give more headroom for them too, like zoom out a little bit of this shot. Ooh, I don't like her arm there though. So let's do a variation subtle. Variation subtle preserves the composition of the shot. So like you're always going to get the characters in the same places at the same perspective, but it allows for like the context, like some of the context to change inside there. If we did variation strong, the camera could move completely, and it's going to give us completely new context in that regard. But every time we hit variation, it's still referring to the Omni reference here. So continuity wise, it does a pretty good job. Let's see here. Second one's all right. So now let's say that we want this to be, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to re-roll one more time, only because I don't like that she's wearing this like glasses strap on there. We could, again, adjust the Omni reference, but I'm going to go with this. The only reason I'm being a little picky about this is because I know that when we spin around and her arm is like behind her back like that, it could do some weird stuff. Ideally, before we run any video prompts whatsoever, we're happy with the image completely. Ideally, because otherwise, any little error that's in there is going to be, it could be embellished on in some way with the video. So now that we have this is way better. Let's go ahead and do the third one. She's a little wonky now on the right side here. Okay. I'm being a little picky here. Sorry, guys. I'll go with the first one here. And now let's do a full turnaround of this scene. So let's say that we'll animate on high motion and say that this is a 360-degree footage depicting us orbiting around 2 characters singing on a stage. And I'm going to just hit submit for this. I add the words fast for mine because I'm in turbo mode here, so which doesn't work with video. Yep, your starting image must be good or else. What happened here? Let's take a look. I mean, that's not bad. That's pretty cool. Face is all broken. I mean, it's definitely the back of a beak, and the head is kind of faced to like it's a bird though. I mean, birds can creak their neck farther than humans can, so it's not that weird for me. But you do get some cool angles with this though. All right, let's move on. I'm gonna get rid of some of these shots here. Some of our old prompts that we've done.
I just extended my rotation and got exactly what I wanted.
Nice. I'm so curious to see it.
Put a ping you on it.
All right, let's take a look. Oh, that's some nice frames. Got some good angles. It's a lot of frame within a frame, right? Um,
Yep,
Rhapsody
but it's a
actually,
room.
yeah, it's a room. It's we got the room from Olingo. That's really cool. I do want to say too that there is a fun thing that Rhapsody vibe coded for us on the Gnarly Studios server that you can play around with. Which is a shot randomizer. It lets you get two different shots descriptions that you can pump into your Midjourney video results and see how it interpolates like common like film angles and film shot compositions into your basically learning through practice what the vocabulary is for your for video because it's kind of a whole new territory for plenty of us here. Thanks for linking it. I'll just show you guys what it looks like here. You can roll your homework right here, and this is basically the just going to give us both shots. So this is going from a circular blocking, which is characters orbiting around each other, suggesting shifting power in negotiations, and then a cutaway, a temporarily shifts to something outside of the main action. So we did this as a homework trial so that you guys could see what like your challenge was. Make a shot that transitions from a circular blocking to a cutaway. In order to talk about blocking or like the how a shot moves from composition to composition inside of a movie. So what I'm going to do here, this is pretty cool. Thanks for linking it. Let's grab our turnaround here. Let's see what we got. Is this it here? All right, so we have it somewhat starting here, but the perspective breaks a bit here. So let's go ahead and try to describe this scene a little differently, and see if we can get this as a full 360 here. And it's not always going to be a proper 360 because we're trying to do a lot within 5 seconds, a lot. So I'm going to also grab something really quick because I don't know how to write the symbol for degree with my keyboard. So I'm just going to Google degree symbol and then copy it. So let's go ahead and open that up here. Paste 360 degree like that. Okay. 360 degree orbiting footage, spinning around two characters singing on a stage. Let's try that. We're just going to change up the verbiage a little bit here. And if you want to, you can even say it's like drone footage or something that's going to encourage even more kind of like exaggeration of the space. We could also describe the space itself here, but we do have some really fun motion of them interacting with each other already. Look at the top right here, where they like kind of cross each other. That's very cool. I'm going to have to rate images for fast hours now. Yeah, I really encourage you guys to post results for us to run videos for you. I know that they're going to be more expensive than image prompts, so please submit images for us to run as videos for you guys because we're excited to get this stuff done, and we're more than happy to do it for y'all.
And please don't feel bad in any way. Like, I'm not going to use your fast hours or anything. Don't worry about it. Just ping me. I'm running every single video you want.
Yeah, that's really cool. I do like the spins. We lose her Yona's continuity a bit, especially with her skin tone by the time she zooms back in on this shot. But it is pretty cool. We definitely are getting all of the angles we need to do like a nice conversation off of just the second result or just the first video. But let's see. I think we're also getting some influence of music videos in this result too, by the way, which is partly why this is acting all funny. Gen from this screen cap. Okay, that's all of us. That's really cute. That's awesome. I love that you guys could just screen cap us and be able to use that image as like foundation here. I love this. This is awesome. All right, let's see if we got anything useful out of this. Oh my god, we did. Oh my god, we did. Look at that first one. I'm gonna already upscale it. I haven't even looked at the others yet because I was
Oh,
just
wow.
blown away with the angles here. Look at this. Okay, all right. Let me download that. Let me grab that. I'm gonna right click on it, hit loop, so I can talk about it for a minute. Okay, zoom in. All right. So there is so much potential here to get all the angles that we would need in order to like force a direction. Like say that we wanted a character to be breaking in from the roof above them, right? You probably want a shot of them looking up like as the music stops with them looking up and being like, "Ah," that kind of thing. You really that is an obscure angle to get if you needed to describe that with words alone. So let's go ahead and say this shot like right here where it kind of looks like she's already looking up too, which is good. I can come into here and just grab this as a frame, something like this. Copy frame. I'm going to use the actual Discord bot for this. So let's paste the image here. And there's a couple different ways that we can find, wording that might help us describe this shot as well. So we'll use /describe, copy the link for this image, and then paste the link in there. And this gives us I've heard it called reverse prompting. It's actually image interrogation. It's looking at your image and describing what it sees. And it's seeing this all as a low angle shot here. So low angle shot of 2 anime girls, low angle shot of 2 anime girls. You could start to see a pattern, and it really helps you figure out what sort of verbiage you need to do this. There's another trick that I'm going to show you guys on the website really quick, doing the same thing, but in a very useful way. Okay. So let's first grab the Omni reference because I need that for this. Jump us back up to here. I'll just do this manually. I have it saved somewhere here. There we go. I'm going to take this image, copy it, go over to the website, paste this image, and I'm going to just leave it inside of the Omni reference. Just leave it there. Don't even prompt anything. Just leave it there. Don't touch it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the shot that we had. This one. Copy image frame. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. No, I'm not even going to copy it. I have to drag it somewhere. So let me paste this into here first. Paste. I'm going to take this image and I'm going to drag it to drop images to describe. Okay. Now, the reason I told you to put this inside the Omni reference and don't touch it, okay, is because if you leave that as the only thing inside of your bar, and then you hit the Run All Prompts button, it actually runs them with the Omni reference. Okay? So it goes way faster for me than having to manually drag each time into the Omni reference of what I want to use. As whatever's inside your bar here, as long as it's not the words, then it will just use that for your descriptions. So it lets me go very fast and go, hey, this works, this word works, whatever. It'll also add all the kind of odd stuff that it saw from the image interrogation. Like there's a penguin. Like why is Pengu hanging out with her, just doing silly little dances? You get some oddities here, but it's really fast to be able to quickly go, all right, let me see all these results with the Omni reference. So that's pretty cool. We're getting some really odd angles and a moon in every shot, which is cool. But it's pretty handy when you have something that you're like, I don't know which description is more accurate, and I'm just going to go with it. You can run that with the Omni reference right off the bat. So yeah, it's pretty fun. But let's go ahead and finish this shot here. Okay. We have our image here. Copy image address. /imagine. Paste that image at the front because this is our camera angle. This is the angle we're going to aim for here. And I'm going to say that this is the low angle shot of 2 anime girls in white and black because it seems like that's producing consistent results. And so I'm just going to paste that into here. And now let's run this as a video, -- video. And at this point, actually, that's right. No, we're not running it as a video. We're setting up our shot. My bad. Sorry. So we have our image prompt here. We have our description of just a low angle shot of two anime girls in white and black. I want to set the image weight to be pretty high, so let's do like 2. And then we get our Omni reference that we had earlier. And I'll just grab that from here. Copy image address. --oref. Paste that into there. And I think we had an Omni weight of like 125 or so. That should be fine. Okay, let's hit this. Let's submit this. AR169. That's it. That should be it. Again, we're taking advantage of the fact that we've basically set up the angle with the image prompt at the front of the prompt, and then we have the Omni reference giving us that continuity of the characters, which depending on its value may force the characters to be at a more traditional angle, but it looks like it's working so far, at least. What is it? That fourth shot seems to be almost perfect for the camera angle that we had before. I wanted to thank you guys so much. Also, for everyone that's here, we're almost at 40 people, which is awesome. We have so many cool things that we do. This isn't the only thing we do on the streams here. We try to change it up every once in a while. With this, we're focusing pretty specifically on how to like edit and put together shot compositions for your film, but we do all sorts of stuff on these streams, especially if you guys have any ideas of what you want to explore. Like maybe you have a problem in a project that you have, you're welcome to pitch that to us and we'll consider it for a future stream. Just because I know that we are an hour and a half in, I do want to do a little introduction for anyone that's new here. My name's Victor Gnarly, and I'm joined here with Rhapsody and Kinky and Ancient. We're all just making stuff with you guys here every Friday at 4 p.m. But if there's anything that you guys want, like just paste it inside of VC Create and VC Text, and we'll be able to make stuff with you. Okay, well, let me just do this real. I'll finish up this quick description here we now have this shot at a new angle. She's not wearing all black anymore, but that's okay. We can do a variation. Oh, no, that's the wrong button. I hit the upscale. We can do a variation subtle and see if that fixes her outfit on the left side here. Again, we could in-paint any corrections that OmniReference kind of convolutes, but the other solution really is to increase the OmniReference in order to get more accuracy to our character art, or just to lower the image weight, which may break this angle. So I'm happy with the results that we got here. I think this works really well because look at the power of variation subtle here. 2 out of the 4 results that we're getting, we already have her back in a black outfit with her fun cat ears and all that stuff. She almost looks like she's like ready to fight something on the right here. That's so cool. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's do the third image. Okay, now we have them, and we could redirect their specific expressions to start here. But really, just to describe the shot that I had been inspired with this, we could just say that this is let's say a high motion. Let's do low motion. A low motion, and then we will describe it as slow zoom out. Slow zoom out as the 2 singers are shocked by what's above them. Extreme low angle shot. Okay? And then hit submit. At least in my experience as well, whenever running Midjourney video prompts, it tends to be something to where I am more describing linearly of what's happening in the shot than I am with image prompts. Basically, it used to be that the priority was always at the front of the prompt, and then the later the verbiage that you used would get less and less important into the frame. That's not true anymore. But with video, it feels like that's true. It feels very much like if I want something to happen at the end of the clip, it should be at the end of the prompt. That kind of thing. But let's see what we get with this video run and check out everything else that you guys are doing here. In fact, while we are doing that, Kinky, do you want to do the prompt battle announcements?
I thought you'd never ask. Hi, everybody.
Hello,
My name's Kinky
Kinky.
Kong, and this is your Kinky Minute. It's much less entertaining than it sounds. I
It's not
am
true.
here to talk to you about a thing called Prompt Battles. Prompt Battles is a game that we play every weekend. Um, and this is a drop in, drop out event. You don't have to stay for the whole day. Please understand that. But we do it for 8 hours a day, Saturday and Sunday. Saturdays we do it a little bit later, and Sundays we do it earlier. But we do it. What we do is we have a 10-minute period where we all prompt the same challenge, and we do it whatever way we want as long as it's the Midjourney terms of service. Despite what my name might inspire you to do, no, but we want wholesome stuff. Um, but yeah, we prompt whatever we get inspired to do with this challenge, and then we prompt it for 10 minutes, and we come back after 10 minutes and we put it in something called a poll unit. And the poll unit will actually make it so that you cannot see who posted the image and who voted for the image. Everything is done nice and anonymously. And once the voting is over, this is now about 15 to 16 minutes for a round. Whoever wins gets a free fast hour, and they get to tell everyone what to do next. It's this extremely social event. You don't have to talk at all, but a lot of people will be talking. You can type in the chat instead of talking on the microphone. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do, but we're happy to have you there. You'll learn how to prompt things that you never thought you would learn how to prompt. You will learn about the community and the people in it. You will get to meet new people, make friends, and prompt outside your wheelhouse. Um, and I mean, free fast hours. There's actually a few different ways to win, and you can get them just for participating, even if you don't think that you'll win. But I bet you will, because prompt battles is for everyone. And this has been your Kinky Minute. Thanks for listening. I've been Kinky Kong.
Thank you so much, Kinky. Um,
Thanks.
I do also want to invite you guys to the show after the show, which is a stream that we do on the Gnarly Studio server immediately after this one. It lets you come onto the stage and chat with us directly. Especially if you have a project or anything you're working on, you're welcome to just join and chat with us after the stream. So it's also a good way to find other people like-minded people who want to do the same thing you do. So yeah, I recommend both prompt battles and the show after the show. Let's see here. Is quiet now. Okay. Yeah, okay. No audio issues. Okay. All right. Good. 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 So I upscaled a couple of the
You
horse
hear that?
results as well, by the way, because we did get some usable frames out of this. It didn't actually orbit around the characters, but we're able to get them as image prompts that we can punch in a little bit and show the characters from different angles. So that's really cool. Um, and I've reran this prompt here. Oh, did we get it? Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Okay, second up, I'm gonna upscale your this horse one here. Um, let's see. Did it keep extending too? Let's see. No, it's good. It's good. Okay, look at this. Look at that. Okay. All right. So with this shot like largely orbiting, we don't need it to be a freeze frame. It just helped to describe that in order to encourage the horse not to walk as much as we had before. And we could just extrapolate individual frames to be able to guide these compositions. Isn't this so cool? Like, if we want to do a close up of her talking to the horse, for example, we could just punch in this frame here and then use that as an image weight with the previous prompt. And if we wanted them to walk side by
Either
side,
either that,
mm-hmm.
either that, or we just continue animating from this point onwards, because you can as well just take one of these frames and then tell the camera what it should do, like zoom in on the face of the person or
Right, right.
get closer to whatever, and that way you move the camera dynamically within the world and have unlimited reference frames to start new animations, new cuts for your scenes. From this one frame here, we can zoom on the violet little girl, We can zoom into to the horse's head. We can turn around and zoom in from a different perspective, all while keeping the environment consistent. And then we have a bunch of frames that can all be composed together, like in a storyboard way, and then be animated. And that way you can plan your shot cut by cut by cut and have everything consistent around the characters and with the characters. And that's just so cool.
Yeah, I mean, like if I just say that she is petting the horse here, a young girl in a purple outfit petting the horse's head, or just petting the horse, it's probably going to give us more natural performance if we give just to say pet the horse. Uh, and I'm just going to we slow zoom in on the young girl in a purple outfit petting the horse. So if we didn't have any reference materials for this, say this was like an organic character, as in a character that we did not describe or anything like that. We just got it as a result inside of one of the images. We can get all the details of that character by doing what Rhapsody was suggesting, by zooming in and punching in on her. Don't punch the horse. Stop it, Snoopy. Stop it. You guys are brutal today. Brutal today. Let's see here. With the character ones that we had earlier with the singers, take a look at this. Shocked as something above them happens. This is actually. It definitely didn't understand that there's a stage underneath them, right, for this particular shot. So if we were to maybe zoom out a little bit, we might be able to. Like, she's just so excited. Look, her ears twitch in excitement over what's above them in this shot. That's too funny. I do want to show you guys how to take something like this and say, hey, give us a new background, and try to preserve the footage, but that requires me to open After Effects. So I'm going to leave that towards a little later in the stream, because that's more indulgent for me, I would say, because I've been given the feedback already from you guys that not everyone is a subscriber to Adobe Creative Cloud. So whenever I jump into Adobe stuff, things tend to fall off a bit here. So I want to make sure we do as much as we can inside of Midjourney, and really demonstrate that. So let's see. This is the one where we pitched in as she pets the horse. So we would need to describe them as not walking in order to try to deter what's happening here, which is the slow. Like she's certainly petting the horse, and we're getting a better view of this girl that we could take individual frames from and use them. But I do want to encourage that she's not like floating as we zoom in here. So let's give the horse an action to do that isn't walking in order to complete this. Okay, we slow zoom on a let's say on a horse lowering its head to eat grass. And negative prompts do not work with video, so we have to do the best we can to say that this is not a walking talking scene. All right, so we will also describe the horse as is not walking. The horse is not walking. We slow zoom. I'm just gonna be very literal with this and see how far we get with that. This is an experiment. Oh, there you go. You got the frame. Awesome. More like a walk and trample than a walk and talk. Like I said, you guys are just brutal today, okay? Please don't trample the child with the horse, please. Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, yeah, we got some fun stuff with that. All right, let's see what other shots you guys have been working on in the meantime. There's a lot of fun stuff with singers now, because we were prompting on that theme earlier. With Rhapsody, with the scene that you have, is there anything that you want to kind of mess with while we're on stream here with Yona and Roxy? Because I'm sure that we can do some fun composition here with them, with what you have already made.
There's for sure something there. I just don't know yet what happens. Like, I wanted them to having a friendly conversation with each other and some chicken shenanigans going around, and I wanted multiple perspectives. Um, I don't think I have the shots yet that I need.
Well, let's try to at least extrapolate like some sort of moment from it, so that we can say, hey, just have them
Yeah,
conversing, have them talking, right? At this new
yeah.
angle. So let's see. Which is your favorite shot you've made so far with this? Is it probably this one? Let's see. This gives me more than enough to work with. Yeah, let me do this one here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. I wanted the camera to move in and focus on Roxy's face again, um, but it always focuses on Yona here. So at the moment on the website, I'm trying to just take uh, the original frame and move from there again.
Hmm.
It's like rewinding time a little bit. Like in a shoot, you would just put all the actors back to start and just do a different camera movement, and it's exactly what we're doing here.
Right. And in fact, Circulo actually brought up the next thing that we're going to be talking about after this, which is backgrounds. How to replace backgrounds and make more consistent backgrounds. It's at the latter half of the tutorial that I have linked here today. Like I said, this is a pretty hefty tutorial, so getting through every bit of we may not accomplish today, but it is something that I'm excited to show you guys. So let me hide this first and then jump over to camera coverage with Midjourney Video. So let me grab the link for you really quick. I'm just going to reply to you, Circulo, so you have it here. This is the MJ Video tutorial. MJ Video film coverage tutorial. Okay, and so what is it, the second to last image on the tutorial here talks about how to remove characters from your to create background plates. And background plates is how you guys are going to be able to keep consistency of your shots better, by removing the characters from the scene and then creating the environment from multiple angles, or combining multiple shots together in order to composite them later. The additional benefit of a background plate is that you can have your characters walking in and out of the scene using the plate as the starting frame. Okay, so just to give you guys a little demo of that. I have this saved here, so let me just make sure I have it here. Where is that saved? Is it this shot? No. Just a second, guys. Is it... I think it might be... Sorry, just a moment here. I have a lot of clips from this that I need to filter through a little bit really quick. Okay, yes, it's one of these.
I'm
And
just gonna copy all the good frames from this stuff into VC text for a second.
okay. So I will link this inside of VC Create for you guys so that you guys can see it. We have one shot of them walking into the frame using a blank of this plate, and another one. Where's the one that I really like? There's one that I really, really like that we got earlier with this. Is it this one? Yes, okay. And this one here. So these two shots show you what happens if you're able to remove the characters from the scene while preserving the backgrounds, okay? So the first one, I just said, walk down the stairs and then approach us. Isn't that awesome? Like, we can literally have the like an opening scene or opening shot just by having a background plate as the starting frame. But then I said, you know what? Let's take out the stairs in the description. Let's just have them walk into the scene. And look what it did here. It picked two random doors and did the Scooby-Doo gag with them. And the gag of where they come out of the doors and they're like walking across. I literally re-rolled this 3 or 4 times, and they were coming in and out of the doors like back and forth like this, and it just reminded me of Scooby Doo. So this is so much fun that we can do this by just having a background plate and as the starting frame. So how do we make those? I'll get into what we were doing a little earlier, but let's do the background plate first. So we're going to use the website for this, and we are going to grab a scene where we have the character. Yes, I'm going to do the horse here because I feel like the prairie as an open scene is actually a really really good idea. So we have this shot right here. We will copy the image URL and then go to edit on the website, hit new, and then edit from URL. Paste the URL. Now we have the scene ready for editing. We go into Smart Select, and now we select our characters. Boop. Boop. Boop, boop. We're just basically going to keep selecting until it figures it out. There we go. Okay, we've selected enough of this now. Let's now, instead of saying remove backgrounds, what we're going to use is remove selection. Oops, let me undo that. There we go. Remove selection. And you'll notice that it grayed out most of it, but we need to go a little farther with the paint tool and start erasing anything that might be nearby or otherwise just left as remnants of the characters. So let's go ahead and delete this, delete this, delete this, and we'll just get a little bit more of a generous delete for her. Okay, there we go. Now we have all this. We should be able to now describe this as a open prairie field without any description of characters to it. And just submit that by itself. Basically, just don't describe any characters. As long as it's not too much of a voided area, it does a pretty good job just kind of filling it in with something. It is kind of cute that it's filling a house there because there is a little teeny sort of garage or maybe a dog hut there on the corner there. But I'm just going to cycle through these. All these have houses. That's fine. We can do this partially. So let's now inpaint on this house and just get rid of this. Now it's not in the shape of a person either. If you do have any profiles or style references that are attached to this, what's going to happen is if it features a lot of characters inside of the profile, it might fill in people there. So it's a good idea to just kind of delete your prompt entirely and just rewrite what's in the background here. Oh, okay. It's encouraging a house there because it sees these electrical poles going to the house. I didn't even see the poles there. So let's get rid of those poles really quick. Because that is definitely going to convolute something. It's definitely going to try to justify those lines in some way. So let me just submit this one last time. I like to imagine these guys are working hard inside the editor to make this tech possible. Yeah, I mean, I've told this story maybe a half dozen times at this point, but my mother used to work for IBM. She was in the '60s. She was showing a farmhand and his wife a computer, and she talked about it for nearly 40 minutes, talking about all the cool things you can do with a computer. And after she was all done and speaking, because remember, these machines were massive back then, the size of entire like rooms. And after she was done explaining it, he goes, "This is great and all, but you have to tell me, where's the little man inside that's running it all?" Uh, and he just could not understand that this was that there was no person pulling the strings behind it. He was literally expecting a Wizard of Oz sort of situation. But no, it's not. That's not magic. Although it feels like it sometimes. What did you link here, Nixie? This is cool. Yeah, the Mechanical Turk. Right, right. Oh, going for that downward angle. I like that. That's pretty cool.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Is that us?
Is that? It's. I mean, I'm definitely stealing your glasses if that's so. It's very cute. the little angel wings over the ears. That could be a thing. Like that. I wonder if that's like I don't know. It feels like something that belongs in a fantasy. You have her glasses. Yeah, yeah. I thought
Yeah.
so.
Oh God. I imagine this like with the wings over the ears. Imagine these are really like real body parts that can move and convey emotions. It could be so cute.
Little expressive little wings above the ears that are like I'm excited, and then they flutter. Uh,
Yeah.
Live bird reactions. Yes, exactly. That's exactly what Rhapsody's talking about. Live bird reactions. That's cute. Yeah, look at that. It is. I guess it is the thing. I guess it is a thing with VTubers and stuff. Okay. What I'm gonna do though is jump ourselves back to this open field. Now we have this nice clean plate to work with. Okay. I am going to upscale that to the gallery. And now watch this. I'm going to take this frame that we have here. I'm going to drag that into the starting frame because that changes the prompt bar to video prompts, and I'm going to drag this to the end frame. Um, and because she's standing next to it, it's probably going to be that a little girl in purple, walks in on the frame to the right, and the horse walks in the frame onto the left. That would be the most logical explanation to go from point A to point B with this shot. But I'm curious what Midjourney does on its own without any description or anything like that. So we're just going to submit this as is with no prompt. And then I'll do a low motion version of it as well, and we'll compare the two of them. I oftentimes run things without prompts first, just because I'm so curious what Midjourney kind of tries to do to stitch things together. But in general, especially if you're aiming for like a very specific action for the characters, you're going to need to write something. Unless you're like really trying to do like slow motion footage and you're independently like using start frame and end frame as keyframes. That's a whole other level of complex. Speaking of this, angelic speaking. Oh, okay, yes, there's different kinds of wings that's neat. I wonder if those can be used in a shot description at all. Like if you described it as like an archangel's wings versus the like a dominion wing, if that actually gives you reliable results. Oh, look at that! Rhapsody's linking some cool reactions. Nice.
Yeah, I have now linked the complete set, like above, like way above. Um, there is the other parts, all the useful stuff that I generated so far
Oh,
from this scene, like close-ups, different angles, lots of keyframes that can be used to be animated to convey different kinds of emotions and shots, and yeah, just tell a story. Like, what are they talking about? And all this is now my starting point to basically construct the talk however I want, and I can like really go in, like say a sentence and show Roxy's face, and say another sentence and show Yona's face, and then get a total view from the outside while they are talking with each other. Then maybe zoom in on a chicken, and just while the talk is happening in the background, look what the chicken does. Zooming, cutting back to a face or an over the shoulder. All of these tools for constructing the scene are now there and can be used to construct something.
right, right, and it's so impressive to be able to take all these like components and then embellish on them in different directions in order to get your the story that you have. And it does help to kind of be a bit loose when it comes to like the script or anything like that. Like you want to, it's better to have, I would say, like a log line or a loose plot rather than to say I need the character to specifically say this in this moment. Just because we are doing this more mixture of found footage and like constructing the shot, that it definitely it helps to have some flexibility in that regard.
Yeah,
It'll be cool to
it's
make something with it.
yeah. The thing that I'm most happy about with this workflow is that it gives us something that I wish for a year now, and that is just location consistency between individual cuts and shots. Um, it's probably hard to return to the same scene, but it's also not too difficult. Like it needs maybe a bit of luck and work on a keyframe, especially if you want to input other characters, maybe at a different time of day or something. But there's AI tools out there that are really good at relighting stuff or putting a scene into a different context, even if Midjourney isn't the best at it. And all of that can be used. It's just crazy. Like I love it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, it is certainly something that I do recommend people just go in with the expectation of like, that you're building the storyboard first. You're building the storyboard with all the pieces, and then you are constructing the story. As if you're working with actors. If something inspires you, if an actor does something that's exciting, lean into it. Don't fight it. Lean into their behavior that you like, and see how you can embellish on that. In fact, this might be one of those things where an improv comedy class will help you get better at this. Like it is something that I just encourage people, like real life skills translate to AI. They always do. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It isn't true that you would necessarily always gain, the same traditional skills from AI. You definitely learn, and you definitely get new ways to do things. But I recommend that if you do have the opportunity and the skills, or the access to like a community college or anything, like you gotta lean into that stuff. Try to make yourself as the best version of yourself that you can be, because it is going to help you when it comes to this stuff. This isn't meant to be a cheat code. It's meant to be a new tool that lets you be able to express yourself in new ways. How you express yourself, though, and what you use to do it are different things. Like they need to be something that you understand is like a core aspect to your expression, is that you're going to be showing off your skills, your voice, your just your identity is inside of this, and it shows. So what I did here was I ran one with variation high, with motion high, and one with motion low of them coming from the field and then into the frame. And you could see we got the horse coming in the frame on the left side, like I thought would happen. There's a little bit of a rewind that happens where the characters are kind of forced to be back into the end positions. That's fine because you could just cut the clip shorter. But let's take a look at what I did here in terms of trying to reveal the rest of this background, and then we'll dive into some of the more manual editing techniques that are there, because I do want to show you guys how to do this inside of Midjourney first, and then show you what it's like to do inside of a professional post program like After Effects, because it is something that you'll see the benefit of gaining those additional tools in just a moment. Let's see. Another good thing to run as a D&D or other RPG game as the game master. You learn to visualize and tell others what they see. It's handy in prompting and editing video as well. I'm not surprised by that. That is surely useful.
Yes, you learn all the descriptions. I do lots of pen and paper games with my characters. It helps with describing reactions, environments, action to everybody else, and also prompting in that way. It also helps you to get to know your characters if you're playing them or if you just incorporate them in some kind of story. It's a bit sad. Like we even started at the Gnarly Studio server. We started a little D&D session like a while ago. I think it's 8 months by now since we played the last time, and it was fun. I played Roxy, and yeah, that helps definitely. 100% do that. Role play it, and if you are good at role playing, take a step further. Maybe record yourself with it, and that way you get to learn a lot about how you want things to move, how you want things to to feel what the correct timing is for cutting video is also a thing you can learn that way, because you want to time what you say correctly to convey the correct emotions and stuff. So there's so many levels of things to levels to role play, and it's helpful in so many steps of the way. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just laughing at the fact that Ancient called it method prompting. Yeah,
Yeah,
you gotta get in
yeah. Why
character.
not?
Get in character. Do it.
Yeah. And the best thing is, if you have like the character reference sheets for your characters, and you have these people and they have Midjourney, there is nothing stopping you from just prompting the stuff you're doing directly while you're playing, and now we can even animate that, and suddenly you have an animation of the things that happen while you role play it, and it's crazy. It's so much fun.
Yeah, all these
And
things.
also,
Yeah,
yeah.
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I just want to say we need to coin the method prompting.
Yes, we do. We do. That is it is certainly what this is. Especially now that we have actors like doing things that are under our direction. It's going to help a lot to put ourselves in their shoes, and
Yeah.
just be those people, be those characters.
Yeah.
And especially if you want to do this like fast and cheaply, voice acting is faster than prompting. I promise you. Compared to all the other like voice models that are out there and all that stuff, it's going to be faster for you to have a microphone and just talk into the camera, or like what I mean. Like that's just going to be. It's a better skill set to have. But I want to I do want to show that. Look at this background zooming in here, spinning around. I've shown it in the background here for a minute or so now. I'm really digging this one. It gives us a lot of different angles of the same scene, and we could just extrapolate individual frames from this in order to give us, like, say, the same scene but in a different. The same characters but in a different angle. So let me show that really quick here. So we can download a single frame from the one that I liked here. That's this one here. Download video. Download raw video. I always recommend downloading raw if you're going to be editing it. If you're just going to share the actual clip itself, download for social. But if we go ahead and click Sim, it's method acting is like Daniel Day-Lewis and There'll Be Blood. Like, the guy was known for being a massive asshat on stage because his character is an asshole. That sort of, like, the acting doesn't stop when the camera stops. That's method. That is a very easy way to summarize method acting. It's just you completely absorb yourself into the character. If anything, you might like there's people who go through mental lapses because they lose themselves in their characters. But anyway, so I'm gonna take this frame. Let's grab, say, this frame here, because the camera has moved from this position here with the mountains to more like maybe 80 degrees, 70 degrees to the right with this. We're ignoring the fact that we're zooming in a bit here and just saying that we're looking to the right of the mountains that we had earlier. Let's copy this frame. And I am going to bring that into the editor. Hit new, edit from URL. Oh no, I have to paste the image first. Let me paste it into the bar so I have it. Oh, that's right. I just paste it in there and it works. I do wish that it says edit uploaded image. If it did say paste image next to it, I would more instinctively know to click that. So I might send that back as a bit of feedback. But let's go ahead and grab now one of the video frames that we had earlier of the horse and her. So we want the one that's about at the same angle that we saw. So let's go for, there was one earlier that we got. I want to see if we can maybe find that one. Maybe I rendered it earlier. Close with, okay, yes. I think it's the end of this shot, but I just want to confirm with the others really quick. This one could work too. I'm looking for one where the angle is changed enough to where, okay, let's take, yeah, I'm going to take this one here. Yeah, I'll download this. Download as raw video. Drag that video into Chrome. Now we can hit pause and then grab a frame of this. So something like this. That's a pretty good alternate angle. But you notice that look at the mountains in the background. It's just repeating the same mountains. They're almost reversed, right? So if we wanted this, but say we wanted to see an open field behind her instead, then we can copy this video frame, come back into the editor, and then paste that second frame on top of this frame. And now we can use the Smart Select tool to grab the characters in this scene. Now the horse bridle and stuff, we might need to do a little bit of manual editing for this, but we'll get most of it with this. And now we're going to say erase background because we're only erasing the background of the second layer. You see there's 2 layers down here. We're going to hit erase background, and now we have them on top of this scene that we had earlier. So if I go ahead and compare the two. Wait, what? Wait, hold on a second. Did I screw this up already? Yeah, why is the background not changing there? It should be. Am I editing the wrong one? Yes, I think I am. I have to get that other frame. Hold on, sorry. This one here. Copy video frame, copy, yeah, there we go. And paste this into the layer in between these two. So now I'll drag that to layer 2, get rid of this bottom layer here, and now we have them at a different angle without the mountains in the background that we saw earlier. Okay, so we could use this as after we've done a little bit of correction on the inpainting here. So if we come in and say, all right, let's inpaint the horse's feet here a little bit, select the bottom layer, also inpaint there, and we can kind of mesh these elements together a little better just by inpainting both layers around the same, and we'll say that these are 2 people on an open field. And again, we could go in and finesse all these details if we want to, but ideally what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to encourage this as an end frame to keep a consistent background. We already have it's a very simple background in the sense that it's an open prairie, so it spins around realistically, all that kind of stuff. But I am curious, now that we have this inpainted here, let's grab the one that looks the best here. I'm going to say this one here. We're going to download this, save it, drag that to, we're going to go back to create and then drag that into the bar here. We're going to set this as the end frame. And then grab our original shot that we had as the starting frame. And now we can say that this is a orbiting 180 degree shot, and I don't even think it's going to understand 180 degree shot as well as 360 because it's more of like a common terminology for we have a camera that spins around a character is 360. So so let's say orbiting. Let's say like we view. I'm going to go with a little bit of a different wording here. I'm going to say that we have horse and small girl are standing in an open prairie field as our view orbits around them. So I'm going to try it without describing 360 degree or anything like that. Just to get us this with a high motion. There's a good chance that this breaks, but we'll see what happens. In the meantime, while this is rendering, because it's going to take some time, I'm going to load up my After Effects file and show you guys what I did with this with a professional tool, like with After Effects, for specifically video editing. I hope that we get a tool like this inside of Midjourney soon. It's essentially Smart Select, but for video. And we'll be able to do some more advanced compositing with this. But I wanted to show you how I used it with just so you know that there are options. If you really love the performance of a shot, if you really, really love that shot and you really want to use it, but maybe change out the background or maybe the camera moves too much, a common complaint with Midjourney video or just any AI video, frankly, is that the camera keeps moving. It keeps shifting on you. It keeps trying to change it. You just want a static shot, but no matter what you write in terms of the prompt, it doesn't keep the camera locked in position. If you just remove the background, oftentimes you can lock that background and keep the performance focused on that. So let's see here. Do I have the shot open? Yes. Okay. And I just need to bring myself back to here. And yes. Okay. Let me open this up temporarily on the tablet so you guys can see this full screen. This is the shot you guys saw earlier. And what you guys are noticing here is it may look like this is just a generated, image or from the video, but it's not. It's actually a composited shot where each character has been separated and the background is a static image. And so we do this by first duplicating the footage for every time we want to separate it. So I have a background and 2 characters. So that means I've duplicated it twice, giving us a total of 3 layers. And now what I do is I rename each layer after the character. So this is Vermin here. We also have Flora as the layer right underneath it. And so when I click on Vermin, I'm just going to double click on him. And you'll notice that he now has a purple outline throughout him. And what this is doing is it lets us be able to use the roto brush tool, and we can start selecting the character inside of this frame. And as long as it's a pretty clean, like traced image, which most AI video is, it gives us a pretty good edge detection on this. You can now cycle through the video and look at that. It's live masked. I would say 90% of this character. You'll notice that there's some flickering. There's some inconsistency. Like look at the bottom of his cape here. It flickers a little bit, but that's fine because we are largely able to now finesse this mask as we need to. So this is Vermin's for this shot here. Oops. Where did I go? There it is. Vermin's is right here. There you go. And now let me grab Flora's as well so you could see that. There we go. Here's Flora. But like I said, I'm not going to dive too deep into this. I just wanted to show you guys how I made this shot. Notice the background is really dark. It did not match my original expectation. Like, it has the right aesthetics to it, but I really wanted this background to change. So you can see I've nicely highlighted or masked Flora using the roto brush tool that's here on the top. And now that we have both of these characters isolated, the only thing I did was put a new background there. So if I just cycle through this really quick, you can see that with this new background, we are able to get a better idea of, one, I was able to increase the size of the space, but more importantly, there's now continuity between these 3 shots. 1, 2, 3. Right? And that's all thanks to being able to live rotoscope the video itself. So there you go. I wanted to just show you guys that you do have additional options if you so choose. It just you could do so much with Midjourney. The fact that we got through the first 2 hours and 15 minutes almost exclusively inside of Midjourney just shows you how many tools we have available to us here. So let's take a look at the footage of the spinning around, which we had trouble getting earlier. Okay, because remember, the backgrounds were super similar. Okay, now look at this. Now look at it. Okay, I'm demanding you to look at this because this is incredible. We did this by compositing a separate background with the same scene using a spin around like a footage. And now we have all 4 of these results reliably spinning around these characters. We had a lot of trouble doing this earlier. I didn't even describe a horse in this. Okay. So yeah, Yeah, it's pretty incredible what you can do. Especially, look, the horse is not moving, it's not walking. It literally captures the entire scene for us just by using the composition method of this. So this was done with high motion. It looks like with all three of these. Yeah, I'm just really happy with that. I'm just really happy with this. I'm going to copy this, bring this over to you guys so that you guys can appreciate this because I'm appreciating the hell out of it right now. Let's go to the VC Create. Have a good nap, new lady. Let's go to hit /show on the job ID and submit that. I'm feeling very similar, Noob Lady. I feel like I'm going to take a nap soon after the show. That's for sure. So let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. I'm just so excited about this result here. Showing you guys that we were able to do this by manually compositing stuff exclusively within Midjourney. You've talked about this too, Rhapsody, about how Midjourney video just tends to fix things. You can have a bad end frame and use the 2 or 3 frames before the end frame in order to get a perfect a perfect version of it. It's nuts. That's why I didn't really care too much about fixing details when it came to in-painting these things. So isn't this is just incredible, guys? We were able to do all of this just by combining shots together with intent. The overlapping of the lavender plants too. Just everything is making me geek out super hard with this result.
Yeah. Whenever I think about how Midjourney video tends to repair shots, it tries to make sense out of the things that are in the initial keyframe, right? So while it's moving, it's also trying to make as few errors as possible. It's trained for that so that the quality is high, right? If I see this and I think about future Midjourney versions that could benefit from this, imagine how good V8 could be. This is amazing.
Right. I mean, let alone going back to older versions of Midjourney and saying, hey, this kind of blurry guy in version 3, have him come out of this image, and you'll see Midjourney just goes, yeah, I can make that so much better now. It's good. Thank you so much for joining, Sim. Okay, guys. Well, I think this is a wonderful little capstone or just a wonderful little end cap for this stream. Is this video result here, because it really encapsulates everything that I wanted to accomplish today. How to get the same scene from multiple angles, as well as how to extrapolate those and turn them into valuable image prompts to turn into an animation. For anyone that is that came in towards the latter half of the stream, we started the stream off by showing off a small clip. I will be doing an audio play version of that for next week, so I'll just keep you guys tuned in for that then. It's what the clips from the tutorial are taken from. So I hope you guys join for next week. It should be a ton of fun. And we're going to be continuing this fall fantasy theme. So I hope to see some more character combos from you guys as well. I really do love smashing 2 characters together and going, all right, now how do they? What is their behavior? How do they act? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
I do. Go ahead.
Make sure to check out the tutorial that Victor is showing right now. I linked it in VC text if you have not yet, and also stop by in our show after the show, because we're going to be there. You're going to be able to talk to us and ask questions and just do fun little things, whatever needed. So, join the show.
Yeah.
The show.
I love that little showgirl you have dancing on the bottom of the screen. That's awesome. Thank you. No, thank you guys so much. KSU, thank you so much for joining. And thank you to Enid, Drolinak, Fungi Mancer, Kinky, just everybody. Circulo, Zero. Oh my God. No, thank you guys so much. I will leave you guys with one clip here, which is after you guys do all this stuff, you can goof around a little bit by having them do Fortnite dances. I I had a lot of fun also just being goofy and making the characters doing dances and poses and coordinated stuff. So yeah, I really I thank you guys so much. This has been such a pleasure for me, and I'm excited to do this for you guys again next week, where we hopefully will have our first completed scene, as well as reveal what's behind the door. So thank you all so much, and hope to see you over at the Gnarly Studio server.
Bye bye.
Bye. See you guys.